Hey guys, and welcome to training vlog 7, where I'll be going over my training. And as always, we are going to start with bench. So bench this week again was just average. I mean, nothing too crazy. Worked up to a heavier top single than we did last time, and yeah. One problem I was having here was I was actually slipping, and I don't know, I think it was some issue with the ground because after I sprayed it down and wiped it, everything went really well. But you could see here, if you pay attention to my left leg, your right, it kind of slips a bit, and that lockout gets a little slow, which is fine. That was my last warm up. But here is my top single, 125 kilos. And I know that we're going to start ramping it up soon because I'm sick and tired of taking 125 for singles. I'm trying to push more weight. But I was really focusing here on the flaring the elbow for the stackage, and it was moving well. I think overall it's just a slower bench, but it pops off the chest more. Instead of tucking the elbows like I used to. This single was not too bad. The only thing that I felt was going on was here I tucked a little bit more, and also I wasn't able to hit my true normal arch, and I don't know if that's really a mobility thing, but my back was still a bit fried from the deadlifts from the Sunday prior. So I pulled on Sunday, rested Monday, and had this main bench day on Tuesday. So I need a lot of recovery time. I'm still getting used to the workload and intensity that we are used to doing on deadlifts before I had to do that shit ton of tech work for the past couple months. But yeah, I had 105 kilos for the top set of 4 or 5. I think it was 5. With then back downs of 100, and I mean everything moved pretty well. I mean, can't really complain. Average bench day. So that brings us to our SBD day, and I was really happy with how everything went during this session. So we had started warming up with 1 red, and everything felt good. 2 reds popped. Everything was going really well. I was just really focused on technique work, and I know the previous week things fell off on the main squat day, but here today everything was back to normal, so nothing to be too concerned about. I was actually really focusing on not having that hip shift anymore that I experienced the week prior, and hopefully that was just a one-off thing. But yeah, I mean, I wasn't experiencing it here, so I have really nothing to complain about. And I actually PR'd during this session, which we'll get to on the back downs. I mean, first of all, I don't think I've taken 177.5 kilos for that quick of a single and that light feeling of a single. 177.5 is 391 pounds, so I'm pretty happy with that. We're approaching that 400 pound mark, which I should be working around with anyways. But yeah, this is 167.5, my last warm up, and it flew. I was really worried. I was low-key worried going into this, warming up during this session. But by the looks, after I hit that and saw the vid, I was like, okay, we're straight for 177.5, so that's why I took it. It was actually at the top end of my range, I think so, because my coach and I were talking, we really wanted to push it this week for the mock meet coming up, but actually the plans have changed. First of all, we look at this. Speedy, bro. That shit was quick. I have not moved that fast, I believe. Honestly, it felt like a 6, 7 type of range, and it just moved super well. So I was really happy with that. This is my back down set, top set of 4, which is a PR. I've taken 160 for a set of 5, and then I don't think I've ever taken 165 kilos for a rep work. It's always just been like a single or something like that. So I'm actually really happy with that. And I know I've moved 165 in the past and been like, oh shit, that's a 6. So it's actually nice to move this for reps and see that it's not, I hit this for a set of 4. It was hard, and honestly I'd rate that an RP 8 or 9. So it was really cool thinking about having 2 more reps in the tank with such a high percentage, at least for me. So we backed down to 150 kilos for remaining sets of 4, and they moved pretty well. I was pretty fatigued from the top single and the top set, but I was pretty happy with being able to move it. But I'd like to quickly say that I am competing at the end of January. So I'm still doing this mock meet as I planned, but we're doing kind of sub-max singles. We plan on hitting something in like the 8.5, 9 range, which is nice because ideally it would be I would take 190 on squat, and if that moves at an 8.5, 9, and then we still have another month and change until the meet, then I know that's a great sign, because if I could take that 190 for like an 8.5, 9 or below, like it would be a fantastic sign to have that as like a second or even a first attempt. But that is wishful thinking. So I had bench worked up to, I think, 115 kilos. So this is 110 here. It was I still had the same like sort of issue getting my arch on this day, but less so. I think on the top set I was really able to get that down, and my feet were no longer slipping. Really focus on the stackage, and that single popped off. I mean, Thursday's bench sessions have been going surprisingly well. I was able to really focus on technique there, and really happy with it overall. Back downs with 102.5 kilos or 226 pounds. Moved super well. 4 sets of triples, nothing too crazy. So yeah. Then after that, I had one more. I had 4 sets of the triples. So this is just another set I recorded, but I didn't record it anymore. But I'm pretty happy with how they're moving. They're pretty poppy. But anyway, we're up to deadlift. And dude, I think we found the tech. I know I've been saying that for the past 2 or 3 videos, but I think as we've been going along, I've been realizing like what has worked and what doesn't, and this is working. What I've changed up is where my kind of knee hip angle is, and where the legs go out. Instead of forcing my legs to go out, and then bring my hips close to the bar, but then be basically squatting my deadlift, or when the loads became too heavy, just like having my hips raised. I'm setting myself in a good position and using that kind of open the book type of cue that I learned from Deadlift Panda. So it's been really helpful using all these resources. If any of you guys struggle with with that, I'd say like really just researching online and then implementing in the gym is just the best way to go if you don't have like an in-person coach. But top single 180 kilos, paused, and I could have done better on the pause here, but I was a little hyped, and dude, that flew. That was literally like 6 work, RPE 6. And then I had back downs 160 kilos. Also, they all popped off, so I'm really happy with that. I was supposed to take 175 kilos for that top pause single, but I don't know, I pulled 170, but it just wasn't in the warm-up recording, and I was like, oh shit, like that felt money. So I wanted to hit 180. It's been a long time since I've approached the 400s with my pause single, and it was the right call. I mean, like, I stuck in the RPE, but bumped it up another 5 kilos, so I'm gonna take that as a win. Okay, so we have my classic Friday tempo bench day, and we bumped it up another 2.5 kilos. So I was taking 102.5 for 4 sets of doubles with tempo, 3, 1, 0 tempo. So a little easier than we've been used to doing. And this is where my bench started feeling normal again. I don't know, that back fatigue had me going nuts. But yeah, I mean, nothing too special or crazy here, but we did a 2.5 kilo progression, and things still moved really well. So I'm really happy with that. The first couple of sets, I've noticed this, aren't always like as perfect as the tempo as I want it to be. So I'm working on that, but I'm really happy overall. I mean, obviously something I'll take into consideration the next session. There's always room for improvement, and that's just something I'm gonna have to work on. I'm used to doing the 3-3-0 tempos and really like forcing myself to stay where I need to be. And here I was just getting a little bit lazy because I was like, oh shit, this should be easy. But another thing is like I'm basically taking 2 plates for like tempo work on a 3rd bench day, and that's awesome. I'm very happy with that. 226 is nothing crazy, but it's a big deal for me. I'm pretty happy. Okay, so we're pulling up on our day 4. Warming up for pause squat. This was my last warm up before my top pause single, and I could have done a lot better with the pause. I was feeling pretty cold today, so I didn't pause as long as I should have. And I was feeling a little weak just because I was spotting yesterday at a meet, but I got some spotters here, gained some confidence, took a break, and this single popped out. I did really well. Speedy. I've taken 160 before. I don't know if I've taken 165. I think I have. I'm actually misread my program, and I thought I was supposed to take 162.5 to 167, but 162.5 was actually supposed to be the higher end of the percentage. I took 165, and I'm actually really happy with that because I think I relatively stayed within the RPE. One of the spotters told me that I moved at a 7. I would agree. I think I moved at like a 7 or 8. And on program today, I was supposed to hit a single at 7 within that range. So pretty happy with that. We had back downs, 137.5 kilos or 3 sets of triples. I'm pretty happy with how that went too. I don't know, dude. These have been feeling hard recently, and it's not because the weight is going up. Not really. It's just, I don't know. I think fatigue is starting to kick in. I'm not really that fatigued. I just think I was really tired from yesterday. Nutrition wasn't really on point, and water wasn't on point yesterday. So I'm just grateful for how today's session went because, relatively speaking, it went well. So, excuse me. We're up to deadlift, and today was a huge win for me. You see me warming up on deadlift here, and everything felt great. Really been like wedging my hips, and like it just, the technique looks beautiful. Like as soon as I wedge in, the bar pops up off the floor, and I just gotta lock that bitch out. And I've been really using using that like wedging to get my get the slack out of the bar and the slight little leg drive to get me started, and then I'm good. So tech was really on point today. Really happy with that. So I took 1 red, 2 reds, 2 reds, and a yellow. So this is 330 right here, and that shit flew. Really happy with that. Yeah. So again, I was feeling a little bit cold in the gym today, but still overall things moved really well. And the reason why this is such a big session was I moved 453, which is my next, which is my top single after this clip, and I was so surprised because I moved 440 last week, and it was like, it looked like a fucking 9, but this looked like a 6, and it's all because of that kind of hip angle I changed up. I have my knees a little bit more forward instead of pushing them out, and it really just, it went crazy. I'm really happy with that. Really happy with that signal. So we had back down 5s, 170 kilos, and this was pretty nice. I don't remember the last time I've taken 3 reds for reps. So overall, like, pretty happy with that. Really stayed on technique here, really stayed on my legs, and I'm just, you know, I don't know, man. There's really nothing else I can say but happy that I was able to get things together finally. I think especially going into being 7 weeks out for a meet, finally getting the technique down, like I have all this time to just focus on strength now instead of worrying about my technique. And I think this is what we're going to stick with. I think this is what's the best for me. I don't have the best deadlift leverages. My torso can't be that upright without setting my hips super duper low. So this is what we're going to have to work with. But yeah, that was just a quick overview. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know what you want to see. And yeah, take care. Peace.